Hello everybody, you're watching RAMzine with me, Hywel Davies, where we talk about metal and other scary things that terrify vicars nationwide. With me today is the one and only Justine Jones of Employed to Serve. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure, absolute pleasure. Well, to the day, what a year it's been. Since this very day, today, Warmth of a Dying Sun came out, has blown people's minds across the board. Now that you've had sit on this album for about a year, how's it kind of marinated? How do you feel about it now compared to when it came out last year?
Still feel the same way. Like we're very proud of what we achieved with it. We still enjoy playing the songs, so yeah, it's been a nice year.
Yeah, fantastic. And to be honest with you, it's not just that album. You've kind of raised the status of underground bands as well in that time. Golden Gods as well. That must have been huge news for you guys. Are you very confident about that, or is it just a pleasure just to be nominated?
I'll be honest, we're just happy to get invited. We'll get a few free beers, get to hang out with the mates and stuff. Yeah, it's just nice to come along. It's a good event to go to. I mean, if we win, that's great, but if not, it's just nice to get invited to the party, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. It's a lot of good validation as well, I suppose, from that kind of front. But we'll go on to... album's down. But we'll go into that little point a little bit later on. And as well, this is the last day of your little mini tour now, a little warm-up to download as well. And my God, you kind of packed in a little mini nuclear bomb here with Conjurer and Godflesh and stuff like that. But especially Conjurer, that's where it's like, oh hello, we've got that down pretty well. Was it a no-brainer considering that their album this year has just been smashing everyone's minds left, right, and centre? Do you really want to just expose that a little bit more? It's like a no-brainer bringing them on this tour.
Oh, massively. I have no doubt they'll continue to climb. I'll be very disappointed if they don't become our sort of country's mastodon. There's no reason why they shouldn't. So yeah, it just kind of felt nice, and it was natural because we've been friends with them for a couple of years now. Nice dudes. So yeah.
They are lovely dudes. They are very nice, especially on tour. What I like to think is because music is so brash, it's so in your face, and it just keeps on just piling down every time. But once you go on tour, what is the album you stick on in the van to get you guys pumped?
Probably Fear Factory, Demanufacture.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Korn, Life is Peachy, which is my personal favourite over the self-titled. It's not usually a popular...
No, I was going to say.
But I prefer it's cool.
Yeah?
Got some riffs on that. And what else? Hywel and self-titled.
Nice, absolutely. Oh, that definitely gets me pumped up. You know what I put on sometimes? Literally just Darkness and stuff like that. I can't help but put that on. That's going to be on my download playlist, hands down, before I head over to in the next 20-19 days, something like that. Does this feel as though this is a big warm-up for download now, ready for that? Yeah,
massively. It's just nice because, we sort of spent the beginning of this year sort of preparing for recording our third album, which we just finished last week. So it's nice to kind of have a stretch of shows. We had Complexity Fest and Code Orange dates, but they were sort of sporadic.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to have 4 in a row. Yeah. With great tour supports and just it's been amazing. All the people it's been awesome turnouts and promoters have been lovely. So yeah, it's been really cool.
That's fantastic to hear. Is it arguably going to be your most important show to date?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. Because obviously Download Festival's the sort of the bar, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's if you can if a headline of Download is sort of it's a globally recognised thing. So just playing it in general is awesome.
Oh mate, absolutely. And given you're quite high on the Avalanche stage as well, but it's that entire day I could literally just stay there the entire time. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's I'm just so giddy about it. It's and it quite surprises me as well that this is going to be your first time as well. Is it come at the right time, do you think?
I think so. I don't know, I think personally I don't think we would have been ready had it been on the last album cycle. I think all this touring has made us more confident. Well, I feel like it has, and I feel like we're better as a unit, and I think because of all the practice and stuff, we just finally I feel like we gel well as a band now after all these years. So yeah,
you've made it into a bond, because I saw you at that Tangent last year. That was the last time I properly saw you as well, and that's going to be pretty much that, but I'd say at least 2 or 3 times bigger than what you played there. What you guys brought to that was just I was hooked from there. I knew it was a done deal beforehand. I'd seen Sammy just crowd surf all the way around that. You got Liam from Black Peaks just climbing up the poles and stuff like that.
That was fun.
The boy needs to talk to people, I swear to God.
Our Tangent's so sick. think it's one of my favourite festivals.
Yeah, and this year's lineup is insane good. It's like you got Jamie Lenman, you got Black Peaks as well, Rolo Tomasi. Again, that's another point I want to go on to a little bit later on. But for now, this year I think has probably been your most important by far. More or less on and off the pitch, because especially for you, Kerrang have made you a particular voice. Once you have your column now telling people about that, there's a lot of trust that comes with that as well. People actually seem like see more as a band now. I always kind of see it as like you're like leading voice in the underground.
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
Obviously very immensely grateful. Like, it's just really sick because I literally spend all my time listening to music.
Yeah.
And there's so many bands that I get really frustrated that aren't getting the attention they deserve. So like being given that voice like each month in Kerrang magazine, which is like so widely sort of distributed, it's just well, it's just an honour really, isn't it? Like, I've been reading magazines since I was a kid, so yeah, it's really sick. Absolutely,
that's fantastic to hear. And but with that, I suppose there comes with some kind of pressure with it as well. But do you see it as more of a weight on your shoulders, or more as a sign of validation that like people are actually listening to you and like they actually want to find these bands? I find Incendiary through you guys as well.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
I love that
just
so
pure
much.
hardcore, really, isn't it? I love it. But is it more weighty, or does it give you more validation?
Well, it's just more validation. Like, I don't find any of this like a pressure. Like, really, I mean, obviously I'm busy, but it's what I love doing. So like, I just don't see it as a burden or anything like that. So it's just it's just sick. It's just like, I can do what I've always wanted, and you know, like be in a band myself and also help others achieve like what they want to achieve through writing about them, or like, you know, being label manager.
Absolutely. And with Kerrang as well, your relationship with them is pretty tight at the moment. But with your column as well, did it just come out the blue, or did you work with it for some time to get that sorted out?
I just got invited. So basically, like, they had the idea when they sort of rebranded it, and they asked. Was it Daniel Picard and Alex Bacon and myself, and they have a revolving guest, which I think is really sick.
That is amazing. Fair plays to it.
So, it's honestly really cool to rub shoulders with Daniel Picard and Alex Bacon. It means a lot. So
I met him for the first time the other day. I just went up and just shook his hand. He didn't know who I was. I was like, "Hi, yeah, Dan, how you doing?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right." I was like, "Okay, I'm never doing that again."
I've never met him in person, actually.
He's really nice, actually. Yeah,
I've known him for like years through emails, and obviously spoke to him over the radio.
It is weird that. It is very weird.
It's like meeting him at some point. Maybe a download if he's there.
If I can meet him, you can easily meet him. Right? He's really, really nice as well. Actually, he's a top guy. As well, I watched your K-Pit footage as well. Obviously, that's exactly what I was expecting. Just pure carnage going around there. Do you guys ever watch, like, because there's a bunch of footage of you? Do you guys ever re-watch any of your old shows? So like going, could have improved that there. Just kind of like, you know, or anything like that. Like, do you re-watch it, or as a team, or just like, oh fuck, should have done that? Do you learn from it?
We did mainly in the early days. Like I still sort of like watch back, but usually like I know when I have not had a good show, so sometimes I just like I'm just gonna work on that and not watch it back. I hate watch, like I probably won't watch this back. I hate
I can't.
like obviously I talk a lot, so it must seem like I do. But like podcasts, like video interviews, I'm just like, I can't, just cringe too hard.
I'm in the same boat. Literally every single time is just, especially if, thank God you are chatty as well, because sometimes it is pretty hard on both parties. It's like, oh God, like I can't do it, because I had to interview Doyle once. You can check that out in the link description below. That was interesting. For a man who says nothing at all, it's for everyone who just says everything at the same time. Yeah, not great. But you know what? You can watch it and just laugh about it later on, to be honest. But that kind of puts it in more interesting perspective, especially with Kerrang. Like they are now, because a lot of people felt that they kind of weren't catering to a lot of undiscovered bands like a couple of years back, but now, what with the new editorial changes and stuff like that, I feel as though they've actually pulled their thumb out and actually, we are actually listening to everyone now, and they're giving a platform to a lot more undiscovered bands and stuff like that. Not just Kerrang, but you know, Ham have always done it as well, and loads of other fanzines and stuff like that. Do you think undiscovered bands now have a bigger platform to actually get their voices heard today?
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah, it's just kind of like, I think, like, press and like just fans in general have realised like you need to champion new bands, otherwise there's going to be no new download headliners.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, like how, like, yeah, obviously Download have done an awesome job like past couple of years of sort of like changing it up and getting like sort of the younger bands in, but like what happens when Metallica stuff? What happens when like, you know, Ozzy hangs up his guitar? Like there's going to be no headliners, and then it's going to be like, it's going to make, you know, metal suffer. Yeah. And then like the only heavy thing would be pop punk, which would be like, obviously I like pop punk, but it's devastating if that's like what you can like listen to.
Exactly.
So yeah, and like in bands like Code Orange. I think we've really sort of opened the floodgates for sort of young heavy bands, because it's like, oh, hang on, like in today's sort of climate and like, you know, streaming and stuff, there's not a lot of money in music, like bands still can kind of go like that, and I'm hoping they'll, you know, continue to.
Absolutely.
I just don't see any reason why I wouldn't.
Exactly. Do you think money dictates creativity?
It makes it easier, because like creativity requires time, and if you're working a full-time job trying to pay rent, that's when creativity suffers. So I think obviously it's a balance, and also because of like things like social media reach being like cut off unless you pay, like that needs money, like good music videos, like it's obviously like not the be-all end-all, and there's plenty of bands who do DIY, but you kind of like, it just makes life easier.
It does make things a lot easier. There was a very interesting discussion about, like, I was over here the other day, I think it was like on That's Not Metal or something like that, when they were talking about bands with like music videos and stuff like that. Does, you know, Child Gambino, I think it's Child Gambino, isn't it? Childish Gambino or something like that?
Oh, what, This Is America video?
And stuff like that, and everyone's talking about it, and how rock is just like, okay, band in warehouse, cut scene to someone else, band back to warehouse and stuff like that. But are there bands out there who are really kind of like pushing the video medium at all, in your opinion, and who are they?
I think, like, obviously, like, biases aside, Mull, like, I mean, with that video that they just did, they, like, I can't remember the director's name, but they filmed it in Denmark. It was so good. And it's just got loads of, like, without, you know, putting any, like, kind of proper, like, any money or anything behind it, it's just been, you know, it's like the you know, views are climbing, like, rapidly, and it just shows that, like, you put the effort into a decent video, because it's just like, if you find a video that is as good as the song, like, it'll fly, like, as you know, it won't need loads of money and things like that.
I totally think like creativity and art can come from how you do deal with that, but money is definitely a lubricant that helps that stem a lot better, especially in our kind of world, which kind of like does struggle for it quite a bit. But
truly talented people sort of like, you know, they have more expenses in terms of like, you know, the stuff, the equipment, like camera gear, like you can pay £100 for a bag, camera bag, £100. So it's just kind of like you gotta sort of, you know, pay for like, you know, quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of this, because of the like, you know, go back to download very quickly, and my last little question on that, it does open up that stage to a bigger audience physically, and the stage actually becomes bigger. But your shows are so, it's like C4 in a shoebox kind of thing. That's my favourite analogy, like to kind of use. I use it like all the time, especially with you guys, and like with like bands when Heck was still around as well. It's just, but when you are you concerned about when that plane opens up larger, that might affect your show a bit, and how do you think you would deal with that?
I think it won't affect it negatively. I think it will just evolve. And then, like, I want, like, sort of, especially younger people to get into our band, because a lot of the smaller clubs, like, I feel like in the UK we have a disadvantage to America in the fact that there's, like, barely any all-ages venues that are small. Like, you're talking, like, you know, I'm trying to think in London, like borderline maybe, but that's 200 caps. So like you have to like be a band for like 3 years unless you're like a popular, like sort of like, you know, accessible band. You have to like play for 3 to 4 years to even like warrant playing that size venue. So like if you had like 100 cap venues like all across the country where like 14-year-olds can go to, I think that would be really good. So it's just good.
Where do you see your music? Where do you see that? Sorry to interrupt it. Where do you see your live set and music actually evolving if that grows?
Paris.
Of course.
That's the dream. But like I mean we've like recently like past year we've like always had a sound person, because I feel like they're like as important as another band member, because if you can't hear yourself, no one can hear you, then that's like a problem. It's like no point in playing.
Absolutely.
So like we've got like a sound guy like no matter what now, and like, you know, eventually like we'll be able to afford like a lighting tech, and we've got a backdrop which I'm very happy with. It's very shiny.
Very nice.
We've got little things like that. We've got a new gig jackets.
Oh, it makes jackets?
Yeah, we've got new gig jackets.
This then? Get mine now. But that's fantastic to hear. That's really, really cool, because that time does eventually come, and people are like, will it suffer this up? But I don't think it will, because you can see how Parkway have kind of done it, and that come from like a very similar world to us as well, and they seem to be doing absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I have all the faith in you guys to do it as well, so it sounds fine by me. Just a couple more questions about like Holy Roar and stuff like that, and the new album, obviously. Every single year now, it seems that Holy Roar bands seem to occupy everyone's top 10 lists, like without a doubt. And this year, I've got at least 3. Like I've got Conjurer, I've got Rolo Tomasi, I've got Mold as well. Fuck me, Ligament from Mold. I was listening to that last night, and it's like, oh my god, this is like proper like Death Clock kind of shit. This is fucking awesome. But obviously you work for them. You help find the bands, but. How do you narrow down with so much talent out there? How is that? That's the secret, really, isn't it? How do you narrow down the talent that's out there?
I'm trying to think. I think I think it's because we're quite picky. I guess I don't know. Like, not that it's sort of like we're like arrogant or anything like that. We just like spend like a lot of time. Like there's 3 of us who are sort of like the main core team, and then we have like 2 awesome interns who help us out. But we just sit there and we just go like, probably like, is this us? Yeah. Like, because we have a very distinctive sound, I feel, or at least like, although a lot of our bands are sort of different genres, like we have like things like bands like Apologies that have to Mold, but like they all have this sort of like, I don't want to say darkness because that sounds a bit lame, but sort of just a bit like intensity, I guess.
Anxiety, I was going to say.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it to that, but yes, quite right.
And like I feel like because we listen to so much music all across the board, like it doesn't matter what what genre. I feel like we have like, I don't know, like an understanding of like what we like. And I think a lot, we have a similar opinion to everyone else. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You pretty much you listen to a lot of music, you keep your finger on the pulse, but you've got to trust your own opinion at the same time for it, to be honest with you. That does, like, that comes into it so much. If you can't trust us out, you can't trust anyone, and that's pretty much it.
Without doubting, like, this label is Alex Fitzpatrick's ears.
Yeah. He's the brains behind it all, to be honest with you.
Massively.
Have you read the Wikipedia about how Holy Roar's name actually came into, for fuck's sake? Yeah, check it out. That's not true because it kind of like contradicts it right at the bottom, somewhere like that. Is that where the Holy Roar name actually comes from? We'll have to leave it a mystery, is what I say.
Just something.
Just
it's fun.
Don't leave it up to my brain. Jesus Christ. But as well, new music. Remember last time we talked, we were kind of working on it, but I heard today by your Facebook messages as well that you've actually finished recording the 3rd album.
It's done and dusted.
Oh, very exciting, because one of my main questions is how do you top it from Warmth?
I guess it's just involved. You kind of get, like, because you've been doing it for longer, in theory you should get better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just like we are so harsh on ourselves, and we're like, we could do better. And we've done it in the past where we've literally completely stripped down a song. So we've had like one riff out of the entire song we liked, and we're like, oh, let's build around that. And now like our guitarist is unemployed, so we've got more time to do that. So yeah,
it does open up your diary quite a bit being unemployed, must be said.
Yeah. But yeah, like I feel like we personally think it's a lot better than Warmth. We're very happy with it. I don't feel like there's any. We were very like conscious of not having any filler songs. But yeah, I mean, hopefully people like it. At the end of the day, we really like it. We're really proud of it, and we're happy for it to be in the world. So regardless of what other people think, I think.
Well, that does fill me with a lot of hope and a lot of faith there. But what are some of the challenges that have popped up during that time writing, recording?
Smooth sailing, actually. Like I feel like because we're quite, we're all fairly diplomatic people. I believe, like, so we're quite good at sort of like hearing each other out and sort of collaborating. Sammy mainly sort of writes a lot at home, but we also write collaboratively as well. I think we just sort of like, because it's our 5th year as a band now, we kind of just like streamlined how we work together and just sort of like we're like really good friends as well. So it just kind of it just works. It's a nice process. It's not a struggle. It's nice.
It seems like you guys have a good time with it as well, considering like going through the lyrics of like. Going through Warmth as well. I've done that like a couple of times this week. Just going through this like shitting hell. It's like it does bring out. There's like a lot of reflections of like society, especially with like Church of Mirrors. I love. That's one of my favourite ones. I like the softest apple tree as well. There's a lot of reflections. It does go into a much darker place. What is your main inspirations like going into that? Like how do you tap into that source of like, again, I know darkness is a bit of a cliche thing to say, but how do you tap into all that negativity but churning it into art? How do you do that?
I'm trying to I guess like it's just like how you do it with words. It's sort of like lyrically it is words. It's sort of like music's a feeling. So I mean, and the fact like it exists, like the fact that the negatives like exist, and I think embracing that makes you a more well-rounded person. Yeah. Because like ignoring the fact it exists obviously it can make you ill. Yeah. So yeah, just sort of like just sort of doing what you feel really. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess it's just something that develops over time.
Yeah, I do think like lyrics do save lives as well, and just looking over it, it's just like a lot of it is like you don't feel alone, which is which is one of the main things I do get from that album. Is why it just keeps on, it comes on my Spotify all the time. I will get the vinyl for it tonight because it's my birthday a couple of days ago. I want to treat myself.
The only thing is about not feeling alone. Like I find out with memes. Like other people think this too.
yeah. Memes helps the pain. Yeah. It does ease the pain quite a lot. But as well, do you feel like any pressures when you're delivering them live at all? Because I know some of these things might be a little bit hard to speak to someone about, let alone sing to an entire crowd. For like, are you comfortable enough with these songs now to be all right, or do you just switch off?
I basically zone out when I play, and it's really nice because it's like
muscle memory.
It's muscle memory, and also like it's the one time I don't think about anything else. It's really nice.
Like autopilot.
A lot of it is sort of also like open to interpretation. It's not directly like what I was writing about, which I also quite like because it's almost like hiding a little bit. So I don't feel so vulnerable.
Nice. Yeah. Well, not nice to be vulnerable. But I think there is a sort of like naive comfort in being vulnerable as well, because that's just you being you. But once you are doing that, you are honest when you are displaying it as well. So that ticks the boxes for me. That's what a lot of fans look for these days as well. And finally, is there anything you can reveal about any juicy gossip about like titles or anything like that, production-wise or anything?
We recorded with Lewis Johns.
Okay.
Ranch again.
Nice.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. We love working with him.
Nice.
So that's all for now.
That's all for now. Is it can't squeeze anything else out?
Music at Northern American new singles.
Nice. When can we expect the new music to actually be released?
Album actual release date is up in the air. However, we will release something new by the end of the year.
Awesome stuff.
Some like new songs.
Brilliant stuff. Justine, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you had fun talking to us today.
It's fun.
Fantastic. And I hope you guys had fun as well. Make sure to click like, share and subscribe. And now we've got the little bell thing so you can stay on top of anything that is RAM, get notified. And I've been Hywel. Keep metal classy, folks. There you go. Hooray.